we can probably go over the other endings since we, you know, have that. I think you can check them out if you go to the options.
Go to the options and...
The gallery! It's in yellow text, meaning you gotta complete everything.
Yep.
Here's the basic ending. Basically, if you complete the game on easy, or complete the game in over 4 hours without getting all the items. Sup? They're gonna see you. If you beat the game with 100% of the items, I think, or just under 4 hours. Oh yeah, you got that one. Just under 4 hours without all the items.
4 hours without
You heard without the helmet. You see her face. This is the item you get for beating the game with 100% of the items in over 4 hours. Actual Zero Suit.
I'm trying to remember, because I don't think I ever got 100% items. But I did get this ending before, because maybe it was a speed run, because I think I had like 70-some items, but maybe it was a different time. I'm not sure.
Oh, it could have been just plain speed run. Just speed the game in under 2 hours.
Yeah, that might be it.
Oh, this might be the thing for getting 100% items in over 4 hours. That might be what it is. Or no, in over 2 hours. That's right. Then you have the big endings.
Yep.
This one, you have beating the game on normal with 100% items in under 2 hours.
Yep.
Want a drink? And you have this for beating the game in hard mode. 100% under 2 hours. It actually does look nice out there.
Yeah.
And now for the interesting ones. The low percent runs. Beat the game on normal with less than 50% of the items. No time limit necessary. Because the low percent of items is enough in itself. You get this one. And... oh boy! Hard mode. 15% items or less. You get this wonderful image.
Amazing image. But I can imagine 15% or lower. Unpleasant.
On normal, it's surprisingly manageable. And yeah, they loop, but...
especially considering... here, was it 50% or less than normal, you said?
15.
Oh, 15. Actually, on normal, it's probably pretty good, especially considering...
like I said, there's 9% you absolutely need. You probably spend the rest of the time... oh yeah, there are extra things in the gallery you get with the Metroid Fusion link, but we can't do that through the...
yeah.
through this.
Yeah, so let's just meme it up a little bit and go back to the original Metroid.
If you're curious what the original Metroid is like, you may as well just fuck around with it, but...
yeah.
Yep. I'll just say this. For those of you curious about the 15% run. There are 9% of the items you absolutely need to get through the game. Those would be the Morph Ball, which is right here at the beginning. The Morph Ball Bomb, because you need that to get through a lot of things. The Various Suit, because you need to survive heat. Ice Beam, because you need to kill Metroids. The Missiles, because you need to actually fucking kill certain things. I'm trying to remember what the other one was. There's one more that's absolutely essential. Let's see. Morph Ball Bomb, Various Suit, Ice Beam, Missiles.
Can't be, Super Missiles, right? Because I'm assuming there's
Power Grip, right. Wall
cling. Yeah. Wait. Is Power Grip necessary?
Power Grip, yeah, Wall Cling. I think you could debate it not being necessary, but I wouldn't even take my chances with it.
Someone would argue, yeah, get good with the wall jumping.
Oh dear. Yeah, this is
Did you say Speed Booster?
No, that is not required, believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, the one area you think you needed to get to Ridley's lair, Morph Ball Bombs will actually get you a shortcut route to avoid it altogether.
Okay.
You basically go over the very top of that cavern to the very bottom of it. There's a hidden route to it. But again, that's kind of the point of low percent run. You realize what you need and figure out what you need to do to access things. It's those 6 plus the 3 statues that give you the extra power at the end of the game. The gravity suit, the plasma beam, and the space jump. That's the 9% you absolutely need. So basically the strategy is, you gotta figure out the other 6% you want to use is.
Yeah, you can flex the 6%.
I'll give you my personal recommendation just so you guys have a reference. At least 1 energy tank, preferably 2, especially if you're doing it on hard. Because again, power-ups are worth half.
Yeah.
Every expansion's worth half. So you want a full energy tank, you need 2. So that's 11%. Super missiles! Not required, but you'll definitely want them if you want to get through some of the bosses more quickly.
At least 1 or 2.
At least 2, I would say. Because it is your biggest thing for killing bosses. Especially Mecha Ridley and Mother Brain.
If you're doing a low percent run.
Yup. So that'll be 13%. At this point, with the 13% I say here, that's your bare minimum. From here, you can choose what else you want. If you want more super missiles, go for it. If you want more energy tanks to be able to survive more, go for it. But only get up to 2 more combined of those. However, I would give 2 more suggestions. One of them being Screw Attack.
Yeah.
Because the Screw Attack is amazing for defense. And considering you have very low health, it'll be very helpful. I'll just say this. Doing Mother Brain without the Screw Attack is a mistake. It is a mistake. Because it can help to block a lot of those Rinkas and a lot of the other little bullets you have being fired at you.
Unless you're really good at aiming your ice beam in a very particular way to keep them off your back.
Yup. And just remember you don't have the wave beam, so you can't shoot through walls either.
Yep.
And the 15th one is a more debatable one, but high jump. It also gives you ball jumps to be a lot easier maneuverability.
Yeah, if you're not confident in your morph ball jumping abilities.
Yep, if you can't do your morph ball bomb jumping well, you may want to get the high jump. Besides, on hard mode, with the escape sequence, without the high jump, the route you have to take where you don't have the speed booster is kind of painful. You could also choose to get the speed booster, but it's not really needed. And honestly, it's not that helpful if you're just trying to go through without getting everything. If anything, it'll just throw you into more trouble than it's worth getting the speed booster. And just knowing to avoid that is what you gotta do. Also, you're going the wrong way, just so you know. Not that it fucking matters.
Yeah.
You want to go to the very bottom of this chasm, I think. Actually, you might be going the right way now. Never mind. I was wrong! Gee, it's like I don't remember this fucking game. You want to go to the very bottom of this room. Give you some tips on how to play the original Metroid one, which is honestly kind of similar in focus to how the Zero
Here's
Mission
to get a
was.
good feeling of this game. You start off with 30 HP, by the way, which is something that's fun.
Yep, and every time you die, you start with 30 energy. You can't get energy tanks. You can get up to 6 energy tanks, even though there's 8.
Yeah.
The other 2 are just health refills.
And the worst part is, if you die, you gotta restart all the way at 30 again.
Yeah, it's such a dick move. I mean, if you know how to kill enemies and know where to farm for power-ups, you can refill, but it's a tedious process.
The fact that it's a thing that you have to deal with is kind of a dick thing to...
Uh-huh. Ugh. Playing this one so hard to go back to. Now you can go back, because we need to go get the long beam.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you need 5 missiles to open those missile doors now.
Isn't the original one great?
It's amazing! It's what started everything! Also, you're used to that beeping when your energy's low.
Yep. So you know what?
No! They thankfully do technically have saves for you for this version, in case you do want to feel like going through this original version for some reason.
Yeah.
And you choose to leave if you want.
And just to give an idea...
I think you either press start or plus.
Start it.
Yep. At least you keep all the upgrades, but yep. You're left with frickin'... Oh, you have your missiles too.
Oh, yeah,
I think they give you a minimum of missiles to keep too.
That's nice.
Might be like, depending on how many expansions you have, they might let you have like 20 or something.
Yeah, but that's
Or A, B, plus and minus can keep you out of this. Soft reset on most Game Boy Advance games. Yep.
That's Metroid Zero Mission.
You can always just start a new game on hard just to fucking fuck around with it a little bit. Just to show it off if you really wanted. I don't care which file it is. Honestly, I can just get all these back whenever I wanted. Not a big deal to me.
Let's just show off hard mode just for...
And the yellow text shows you beating all the difficulties. Which, don't worry about it.
Beating the difficulty doesn't really get you too much, besides that a few endings.
It's more for the endings. Beating the game the first time will get you all the, base unlock hard mode. I want to say that getting all the stuff in the gallery might unlock the sound test, maybe? Maybe?
I think the sound test is...
Or maybe being on hard unlocks the sound test. That's what it is.
Yeah, that might have been it. Because I do remember at least beating the game once on hard mode.
Yep. Just a nice reminder for hard mode. You take twice as much damage and every expansion's worth half. And there are more enemies. That's about it. But yeah, I may as well give my thoughts as well. Unless you have anything else to add.
No, that's all I got so far.
Yep, while you just fuck around with this, I'll just give my thoughts. Metroid Zero Mission! It's honestly the last 2D Metroid game I played before, well, Samus Returns came around anyway. Yeah, I actually played original Metroid 2 before I played this. Because, well, I never got around to this until I, started messing around with the GBA emulator. This is the first game I got, because I was like, I never played this game. And honestly, because I didn't know what I was doing, because I wasn't, like, super familiar with Metroid games like I am now, I did not have that fun a time with it. And, well, it kind of frustrated me because I had no idea where I was going, what the hell I was doing, so I just got to the game and it felt like a chore. I remember liking Fusion more because of its linear approach. But, you know, I actually went back to play it. Funny enough, I bought it for my Wii U and played it back when I got COVID back in, like, 2021. And, I actually took the time to play it again, and I appreciated it so much more. I got to realize that it's basically Metroid 1, but in Metroid Fusion's engine, giving a lot of the improvements that Super Metroid had. And, oh my god. I gave it appreciation over Samus Returns afterwards and realized how good it is. And the fact they designed it with so much freedom basically allow you to, you know, ignore a lot of power-ups, try to go through it as little as possible to really challenge yourself. It was nice that they allowed that option. It's something that very few games of its kind do. It's something that the only, like, community of people that really challenge themselves these games would do. Oh, you already ruined it! You didn't even need that! But, yeah, I would say I definitely like this game a lot more than I did back then. But, oh man. It is still a little low on my list, because the thing is, you know, like Koji said, if it's like your first Metroid game, I can agree. Definitely my highest recommendation for first one as well. I used to say Super because that was still, in my opinion, the best and one that set the standard, but you know, it's the beginning of the story, and things are pretty straightforward in this game, unless you're really looking to explore. Like, you can get through this game pretty comfortably, like, without knowing that much about the game ahead of time. And honestly, it's one I can easily find myself coming back to. It is a nice casual ride, it's just, I don't know. Some things from the design perspective, like, I don't feel like it's, like, up to par as much as other games in the series. Like, comparing it to Fusion, it doesn't have nearly as high a variety of bosses, and, well, it doesn't feel quite as fast as Fusion did. I will say that about Fusion. It was very fast-paced with how it moved.
And again, it's almost like you're remaking the first game, so there probably isn't that much to work with, to be fair.
I feel like they did kind of try to design it so, like, newcomers to the series would be feeling more welcome to it, so, you know, yeah. I get it. And again, I still have a lot to like about it, but, you know, compared to Fusion, Super, and Dread, I don't like it as much as those three. That being said, it's still very good. And I can definitely see it along with, if you want to get 2D Metroid, this would easily be my biggest recommendation. If you want to get to Metroid at all, though, this is still a strong recommendation, although if you are more of a 3D kind of gamer, I would also recommend Metroid Prime. Because I feel like Metroid Prime eases you into the formula pretty well. And with this, you still have to, like, dig into, like, a lot of things you want to get 100%. I feel it's a lot more manageable to, like, do everything in Metroid Prime. Although the game feel is a little different. Either way, between this and Metroid Prime, either one of those is great for a first-timer, and, well, yeah. This game reminded me a lot of Fusion. That probably is also why it's not too high for me. It's just like, after playing Fusion, it doesn't feel like it changes a lot. But hey, there are some people still say this is the perfection of the Metroid game. It took the first game and basically threw Metroid and threw Super Metroid and Fusion mechanics in it and gave us what's the purest essence of Metroid.
Yep.
And, you know, I definitely like a lot for what it is. Oh yeah, we can show what happens when we actually let the boss escape. I forgot, then we killed it the first time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say though, this game definitely has the best replay value with the hidden routes and, you know, the ending's actually encouraging you to play with, you know, play going for speed and while playing without a lot of items if you're able. But it's definitely kind of a hard ask. And here's the thing with the bosses, by the way, to mention, I don't know if I did. Because you can't hurt a lot of bosses with regular beam. All of them have attacks that basically you can shoot down regular beam shots to regenerate missiles.
Yeah.
That's kind of what makes the low percent run work as well. And while you don't kill the boss, it runs off.
Yep. And you gotta fight it later.
You can fight it as early as that. But you do have to kill it by the third encounter. If you don't kill it the second, it'll show up in that room again, but you have to keep fighting until you actually kill it.
Yep. Well, with that being said, unless we got anything else we want to talk about...
There's not a lot of boss variety, honestly. Kind of it feels like it harkens a bit off of Super Metroid. Then again, both original Metroid and Super Metroid are based on the same planet, technically, so...
I mean, some would call it continuity.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if you didn't notice, yeah, you got 2 missiles off that freaking first missile thing. So yep. 2 missiles for every expansion. Fun. Very fun. But yeah, you know, I definitely recommend it. You know, if I were to get Koda into the Metroid series, I definitely could recommend him trying this one first.
Yeah.
I don't even try to throw him in anything advanced. I'd probably just try to let him go through it straightforward. Let him appreciate the game at its base value and see what he can learn from it, because...
I'm not sure how big he is on like the Metroidvanias or Metroid-S games.
He likes Castlevania. So, you know...
Are we talking just the, has he played any of the
He likes the old
ones?
school ones. I don't know if he played Symphony of the Night. I feel like he has, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of the Igarashi
I know he's at least played 1 through 4.
Because, at the very least, I played Aria of Sorrow and Portrait of Ruin, so I have a little bit of experience in the Igarashi part. Usually the one everyone points to when it comes to the Igarashi ones is Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, but I do definitely have my 360. I guess it's more my Xbox series. It just goes from the 360 library. It's still so weird. That came out on like all Sony consoles and then Xbox 360. Like, what? The fuck? Nintendo gets no love. They get so many of the other Castlevania games. It's like Symphony of the Night's the only one they haven't had. That and I guess Rondo of Blood. They got the discount version of Dracula X.
Yeah, and that's not particularly good.
It's a discount version. It's serviceable, but it's not quite as good.
It's not the ideal version.
But yeah. The last thing I'll say though is that, well, there's a reason why I see Metroid as the Metroid series as the king of the whole Metroidvania genre, as it were. This game is definitely a test to that. It basically takes what could be a very simple game and basically lines itself. It lines up for you exactly how it wants you to go through it. But the true masters of the genre that really know what they're doing can make the most out of it and make their own route. Basically decide, I'm going to go through this faster. I'm going to try to go through without this. I'm going to see if I can do it without all these items.
This game is made as a speedrunning game at its core.
Uh-huh. And that's something that really helps with this. Like, and that's the other thing. Like, with how much power you can get from really mastering the mechanics, going through so little, or basically seeing how fast you can go with everything, and actually acquiring everything with the greatest of speed. You can actually feel like a god sometimes. It's a wonderful feeling. That's why I love this series, and this game is definitely tested that. I rank it like 4th amongst the big 5 of the 2D Zelda games, and probably like, if I can really think about it, probably like 6th or 7th overall on my overall Metroid list. I think it's behind Primes 1 and 3. And then the other, and then the other 3 2D Metroid games. Yeah, I guess it'd be 6th overall if I really had to think of it that way. But, yeah, still a great one to come back to. And well, if you're a Metroid fan, you haven't played this, you need to. You need to. It's the right way to start the series. And well, honestly, if you've only played original Metroid 1 and haven't played this, neat.
So you don't need to charge me?
No, you don't. Don't worry, I'll still be there. And there you go, half energy tank.
Yep.
That should be just about everything. Oh yeah, and every super missile gets you 1, obviously. We're way far away to actually show that off. But Yep. Basically, you have to play this game if you're a fan of Metroid. You're trying to get into Metroid. If you like Metroid games at all, or its style of games, this is definitely another one that's like
the pinnacle.
Homework. You need to play this game.
The pinnacle of
Yep. If you like the genre at all, this is one you have to play to really understand like a lot of the highs of the series of the genre.
The foundation of the genre at its core. It started here roughly.
I'm gonna say the highs and the lows. There's not a lot of lows, all but the stealth segment can be kind of weird, but you know, other than some weird game design ideas, especially with some bosses kind of being pathetic, and the whole Show Zodiac segment feels like it's a little too big, and some of it could just be a dick, like forcing you to get caught. I still kind of hate that, but some minor little quips with some of the game design choices. I have a great time in this game, so yeah, it's definitely one to look back on. And with that, we can finally get to Metroid Other M.
You haven't gotten into 2 or 3 or Super Metroid yet.
I guess technically we should do Super first.
Should we do Super first, or do we have to go into, or should we go into the remake for the D? That'd be kind of difficult to think about, actually, because technically the second.
Unless you want to do frickin' actual Metroid 2.
That's true. But for right now, let's just say...
I mean, we're not going to get to it for a while, I'm just saying. Technically, there's a case to be made about doing Fusion before Other M.
True.
Because technically a lot of elements from Fusion show up in Other M.
Yep. But that's everything. At least the value that I want to show off anyway for this game.
Yep, just getting all the endings, we show them off. Just a reminder, go to the game really fast, go through a few items, experiment! That's the fun of this game. And, well, the Metroid series, once again, I feel like it always needs more love. It sounds like Dread started bringing a little more into popularity. I'm hoping Prime 4... Prime Remastered is another one that's kind of jumped up.
I heard Prime Remastered is actually doing pretty well.
It sold 1 million physically, which apparently Nintendo was not ready for. They didn't think it was going to sell that much.
Yeah.
Goes to show that people are finally starting to warm up to the series. Then again, now that Europe is finally starting to get exposed to it.
But yeah, then again, Europe has not really had too much exposure when it comes to a lot of Nintendo franchises.
Well,
so being exposed to something like
they
this,
got the Switch library. They got the Switch online libraries. Basically, see all the Metroid games, at least the core ones, not the remakes.
and now they got an entire new audience that wants Metroid.
And they got Prime Remastered, with Prime 4 supposedly coming soon. Like, they got their fill. Now's the time for them to get into the series.
Yep. If there was ever a time to get into Metroid, now is the time.
Yep, with that, I guess we'll figure out what we're going to play after this.
Yep. This is Kingslayer Koshi.
In the MJ406!
See you guys next time for whatever it is.
Who the fuck knows? I vote Other M.
You would.